child has become an adult, parents no longer get to be the parent that they want to be to their child.
Hello, everyone. I saw this video, and honestly, I had a lot of compassion for this young lady, and who knows, the numerous young people, young women, maybe even some men, who've just been raised by parents who were not so great and what wasn't like their dream childhood or what they feel their dream childhood should be. I hoping this will encourage someone, but one of the things I want to say, because it was some things that I heard her say that I understand the hurt and the frustrations and how they feel, but it is unrealistic. So these are some notes that I wrote. Parents will never be who you want them to be. Even if they go get therapy, if they get help, they will not be who you want or need them to be. They are already who they are. Some make it healing, and it might be a stark difference. But generally, people are who they are, especially when they're older. They will have to feel the need to learn and grow, and that would take a lot of effort. But they can't go back and give you the love and the nurturing that you need, the attention that you needed, the little girl, the little boy inside of you. Your parents will never be able to heal you. They will never be able to compensate and become like you think. They will never be able to do it because that part of your childhood or your foundation growing up is over. And so you will have to build your own foundation, your own emotional healing, your own you have to heal your own trauma. So so I'm saying you have to heal and love yourself and nurture yourself. Healing is your journey, and it is your responsibility to heal. Even if you feel like, I don't want this responsibility on myself, it's because of them that you cannot blame your parents for this, even with the things that they have done, because it's still your responsibility to work on your healing. So I said, do not blame your parents while you're healing. You can acknowledge your hurt and your pain. And, do not deny what you're feeling. And don't, say, okay, you don't have to back down from your stance on your experiences, because your experiences, your feelings, your emotions about what you've gone through is all valid. But I want you to think differently about this thing. You have to stop putting your parents on pedestals and looking for them to save the day. Many of us wished, some people are blessed to have parents that they can talk to and have conversation with, and parents who are healing and nurturing, but everyone do not have that. And so you cannot blame the parents who were not able to give that, because if they had it, they would give it. Stop putting them on pedestals and realize that they are human beings, number one. And when you look at this world and you see how flawed everyone is, how messed up some people are, how people think. Yes, the way they raised you as children, they felt that was the good way. Even if they didn't, that's all they knew, because they were hardwired to raise you that way. Even though we're humans, when we have trauma, it kind of gets in our brain and messes us up. You know, it's kind of like hardwired. You know, even if they're in their mind, they're saying, you know, I want to do this different. And they may do a lot of things different and good, but they're still hardwired through their trauma, their own experiences, and they tend to parent the very way they did not want to. They made many mistakes. Some parents, they may have been wicked and evil, but you may not know their history. And everyone who has a history or generations of people being mean and evil, everyone do not know how to break the cycle. Some people know how to break the cycle, some people don't. So the best thing you can do is try to be that person who breaks the cycle of things repeating in your bloodline. Some were unloving. They probably made their children their enemy. They may have been jealous of their children. They probably tore you down as a child. And some just flat out evil and wicked. The whole world, no one is, you know, you don't want to hear that no one's perfect. But if I go to the religious side, and not even really religious, but spiritual, all human beings are flawed. And because sin is in this world, no one's really perfect here, even with Jesus Christ. I want to say in some cases, I do believe that non-contact, that might be a healthy decision for you. But that's up to each adult child. But as far as respecting your parents, because I heard I heard this young lady talk about respect. You do still have to respect your parents. And I get that, you know, you have some people very old-fashioned. So the way she was talking, that was definitely sound like one of those Southern parents. And, you know, you might have some really very strict parents, very strict parents is what I want to say. And so they have an old-fashioned notion you can't talk back. And yeah, you know, you want to talk with them with dignity. And I know that probably sound like what, but I don't have, you know, like from what your experience was. But you just think of it as, you know, even though everyone is messed up and jacked up, you know, you're not going to talk crazy to your boss. Some of you might, though. But think of the person who, they're a human being and they might do some things wrong, but you're not going to talk crazy to them. And it's kind of like you have to deal with your the conflict between you and your parents, but still, you know, not that you're putting them on a pedestal like they're these perfect people, but they are still like, you know, higher than you in an order, you know, even with their flaws, like spiritually, they are higher than you because they're your parents. Even if they don't know much, even if they're like, they don't know anything, you still have to have that level of respect as your parents are higher than you. So come to them with these conflict with respect. Not that you have to agree with everything they say. You can have boundaries, but still be respectful. You can tell them how you feel. If they're not unwilling to listen, you can say, well, when you're ready to listen, let's talk. Some parents are not able to mentally and emotionally handle some of the things that you may have to say. So you might have to still heal from that thing without getting a resolve, because you will not always get a resolve from your parents. Don't tell them they shouldn't have had kids. Don't try to make them feel guilty. Forgive your parents. Know that they are hurting even if they're not expressing it. God bless you in this part of your chapter.